Well, I've been waking up under blades, blue blossom days. If only Damocles would hit me back. No alabaster carvings or faces on a farthing would prevent my head from fading to black. And it feels like falling into the sea from outer space in seconds to me. And I play discordant days on repeat until they look like harmony. When the river runs dry and the curtain is cold, how will I know if I can't see the bottom? Come up for air and choke on it all. No one else knows that I've got a problem. What if I can't get up and stand tall? What if the diamond days are all gone? And who will I be when the empire falls? Wake up alone and I'll be forgotten. Well, I know I should be touring. I know these chords are boring, but I can't always be killing the game. No golden grand pianos or voices from the shadows will do anything but feel the same. And it feels like falling into the deep from somewhere way up over the peaks. And I play discordant days on repeat until the tape runs out on me. When the river runs dry and the curtain is cold, how will I know if I can't see the bottom? Come up for air and choke on it all. No one else knows that I've got a problem. What if I can't get up and stand tall? What if the diamond days are all gone? And who will I be when the empire falls? Wake up alone and I'll be forgotten. Nobody told me I'd be begging for relief when what is silent to you feels like it's screaming to me. Well, nobody told me I'd get tired of myself when it all looks like heaven, but it feels like hell. When the river runs dry and the curtain is cold, how will I know if I can't see the bottom? Come up for air and choke on it all. No one else knows that I've got a problem. What if I can't get up and stand tall? What if the diamond days are all gone? And who will I be when the empire falls? Wake up alone and I'll be forgotten.
All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to Tuesday. Maybe it's Take Profit Tuesday for you. I don't know. I haven't done anything today, so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's been a weird day, man. I've been leaning bullish personally, but I have not taken trades, so nothing to brag about today, chat. I'm sure I'll find a way somewhere. Anyway, what's good, Marshall Convicted capitalist Robert, MJ, Eric, Robin made some profit on IS today. What? Oh, ES. Very nice. Was good. H was good. Jorks, Adam, Jordan, Les Savage. Who else? Who else is here? Drop a like on the stream if you guys are ready to learn something today. I wanted to wait until tomorrow. If you guys didn't know, if you didn't know, now you do. Tomorrow's my birthday. And I turned 32, chat. I'm getting old. I'm a grandpa now, basically. So what I have planned as I already wrote most of this, but I made a list. You want to know what that list is? Mason, Crafts, Slowly, what's good? You guys want to know what that list is? I think I started doing this last year, the year before, or maybe I skipped a year somewhere, but I think what I did when I turned 30 or 31 is I made a list. I said, here are 30 things. Yeah, capitalist, and you're on the top of it. You and Mason and Cameron. Here are 30 things that I learned by age 30. And I don't know if I did one at 31 or I got the numbers mixed up. I don't know. But I know for a fact I'm doing one tomorrow. And it's 32 things that I learned by age 32. Does that sound interesting to you guys? Drop a 32 in the chat. Drop a 32 in the chat if that sounds interesting to you. Like, yeah, John, you're old. I'm sure you know a lot of things besides price action, right? Hopefully. I mean, if you're 32 years old, bro, and you've read, I don't know, hundreds of books and you still don't know 32 things, like, you might as well just hang it up. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just find a bridge, right? Don't write that down, but I think you get the gist of it. Shaq's number? Oh. So I thought about going through them with you. Okay, here's a bunch. See, that's each one. Each one has its own paragraph. Your boy is like trying to be a writer. You know what I mean? I'm like getting there. All right, I'm getting there. So much further in depth than like my first book, best-selling book, by the way, but more than that, like beyond that, and really getting into the depth of things. That's what I mean by being a writer, someone who's actually in depth and not just not just short chapters on trading. With my broker, the low at 68.44.75 was broken. What does that mean by broken? What does that even mean? And that was for ES. 44.75. Yeah, what does that mean by broken? What are we talking about here? Anyway. So do you guys want to go over some of those? I know you dropped some 32 in the chat. We'll go over a few. Because if we only stream, let's say, for the next 50 minutes, okay? And there's 32 of them, we'd have to spend like a minute and a half on each one. And I don't see me doing that. I don't see me doing that at all. So we might get through the first 16 today and do the other 16 tomorrow. Mason said, must not be futures. Yeah, that's probably the case. Okay. Anyway, let's do this. Before we get into that, let me at least tell you what I think. I think this sucks. Overall, I think this sucks. I liked how we traded higher. Dow, a little after 10 o'clock, was unable to make a higher high. Okay, like 10, what do we say, 1020? 1020 is about right here for ES. Stab is a little bit higher, but ultimately it's higher right there. NQ's higher at like 1105, so the highs don't even line up today. That's lovely. So at any point in time, 1020, 1030, or 11, what do we say, 1110, 1105, something like that, Dow just can't do it. So we end up getting weakness. We end up getting a shift in the state of delivery, and then just beautiful, crispy, like 65-degree weather. You know what I mean? Like not too cold, but not too hot either. Like perfect top-down weather, right? Maybe. Shift in the state of delivery. Imbalance on the closure of the 11 o'clock candle in this 5-minute, and then 1105. Right there, perfectly. Inside that imbalance, right into those up candles. Rips. I don't know what to do with that. We have like a gap and no wicks on either one of those. Gross. If we treat that like two imbalances, if we take the first one, stop at the higher one, that is our second leg basically to go lower, right? Below London's low, and equities open low here. So the question is, does ES follow suit to go lower down there? Or does it not do that and trade towards high of day? I don't know. Okay, I really can't even pick a direction here, personally. If I was forced to do something, like if you're like, all right, John, you have to take a trade, you got to press the button, I'd probably just say long, honestly. So I'd go with that. But right here, where we are between like sell side down here and potential buy side up here, this is like near the middle, right? Oh, look at that, John, you're a genius, right? No, you can just eyeball it. It's halfway. Okay, see that? So this right here is perfect for me. Perfect low probability condition. Okay, when we have two pools of liquidity, arguably the bigger one's probably down here, but I wouldn't touch this. If I had to, I'd probably go long. Yeah, this is I'd rather just go over what I want to go over instead of this. Was good, Juan B. Okay, so I will post the PDF, all right, because you guys are spoiled. This is a fact. Everything here to me is it's what I believe, but that's the only fact for today. All right, is that you guys are spoiled. SMS is spoiled. That's truth. Okay, everything else that I'm going to tell you, I believe it, and I think it's great. But the title of this, if you're going to take notes, it's called 32 Things I've Learned by Age 32. It's tomorrow, Robert. My birthday's tomorrow. It's in about 12 hours, not that I'm counting. I've already done so much shit this year. I already bought the car of my dreams. I already bought all kinds of bags and shit. Like, I do what I want for a living. Like, bro, I live an amazing life. Okay? So, God is awesome. I'll never dispute that, you know? So, in all honesty, tomorrow's just going to be another day for me. But I will spend part of that day with you guys teaching you this. So, right? If I'm going to do what I want, then I'm going to do what I want, and that's what I want to do. So, all right. You ready for number one? If you're ready for number one, drop some ones in the chat. Can we get a little bit of participation? Can we get a little participation? 32 things that I learned by age 32. Amen, Craft. Amen. All right, so number one, there's no order of importance, by the way. I was at the coffee shop. I was trying to figure out if the barista was hitting on me or not. I don't think she was, but I was in the middle of that and I wrote out all this stuff. And here we go. Number one, control what you can, let everything else go. Okay, there's number one. Control what you can, let everything else go. Also known as the dichotomy of control. This comes from Epictetus, who said that our chief task in life is to separate everything into two categories: things that we control, things that we cannot control. Our focus then should be on what we can control. And Epictetus says to be indifferent to everything else. He also says, or said rather, the more we focus on things outside of our control, the less control we have. It's a great exercise that anybody can do in just a few minutes. You should try it. Okay, so there's lesson number one, idea number one. Control what you can, let everything else go. Drop some twos if you guys are ready for number two. These are huge, man. Like, all right. These ideas, okay? These ideas, I'm trying to give you the best of the best here, okay? I'm trying to give you the best of the best here. I've read a lot of information. I've read, I don't know how many books, over 20 something this year that I completed, 22, 23. I don't know, I sort of lost count. I just really been deep in the sauce the last few days. Hell, I went to a public library yesterday. All right. So, all right. Number two, never stop learning. Number two is never stop learning. Always a student is one of my mottos. The moment we decide that we know enough, it's only regression from there. If we aren't getting better, we're getting worse. As the title of one of Ryan Holiday's books goes, ego is the enemy. None of us know it all. We can never know it all. To act like it is foolish and a recipe for disaster. It's best to remain open-minded and willing to explore a variety of topics, especially ones you know little to nothing about. It's not about learning facts to regurgitate them at everyone else or to pretend to be intellectually superior to everybody else. It's so we can be smarter and make better decisions. It's so that we can help contribute back to the world in some way. Living in ignorance makes for a difficult and troublesome life. That's not bad, is it? I mean, I haven't really edited all that much. There's like some bolded letters and a couple italics, but that's not bad, is it? I feel pretty good. Not to boost my own ego here, but I feel pretty good. So that was number two. Never stop learning. You guys ready for number three? Drop some threes into the chat. Sorry, I'm making you guys work today. Listen, I did a lot of work putting this shit together. Okay? I put a couple hours into this so far, and I don't know how many hours this year have actually, or I'd say like the last 5 or 6 years, how many hours I put into reading and studying and highlighting and typing and editing and, you know, getting lesson plans together. Like, you guys have no idea what goes into a 1 hour stream. You have no idea. You have no idea. It's okay. I don't expect you to know. Number three. All right, number three. Focus on what's important. Some of these are going to be obvious, okay? But number three is focus on what's important. Too many of us, myself included, prioritize the wrong things. We substitute what matters for what's trivial. For our careers, we choose income over significance. We choose to argue about nonsense over living in peace, money over happiness, looks over character, spending over saving. Instead of continuing in error, we should reevaluate from time to time on what's important to us and start choosing importance over insignificance. Again, that's pretty good, isn't it? I think that's pretty good. It almost sounds like ChatGPT in all honesty, but it's not. I promise. I wrote every word. Okay, I wrote every word of this. But that's number 3. Focus on what's important. Reevaluate. Why am I doing this in December? Why am I doing this for my birthday and the day before? Because this type of stuff is important. We didn't talk about philosophy in high school. We didn't talk about philosophy in college. We didn't talk about philosophy like at all. We didn't talk about setting goals and writing out the roadmap on how to get them. Okay, a lot of personal development, a lot of ideas, school keeps out on purpose. You guys know this. It always comes back to the school system, right? I know I have a camo hat on, but I try to put my tinfoil hat on too. Okay, a lot of us get stuck in the rat race, right? This hamster wheel where we constantly focus on nonsense, keeping up with the Joneses and, comparing ourselves to other people, stuff like that. That's not good. So that was your first 3. Number 1, control what you can, let everything else go. Number 2, never stop learning. And number 3, focus on what's important. You ready for number 4? Or am I going too fast? I didn't even have to say drop some 4s in the chat. You guys are already doing it. That's crazy. Is this stuff that good to you? Drop some 4s in the chat if you guys want number 4. I'm telling you, man. Really, this shouldn't be free, but I don't care. I'll make it free. Because I am free, baby. Live in America. Right? It's an inside joke. Anyway, number 4. Number 4. People over profit, baby. Number 4. People over profit. It's one of my business principles. Actually, it's the principle that stands above all other principles. Too many cases I've seen where a person or a company chooses profit over the care of people. Although companies focus on profits as they are necessary, most don't realize they are making less money than they could be. It's not because of marketing. It's not because of the prices of the products and services, or even the products and services themselves. Though all of those things do matter, they don't matter as much as how, number 1, company leadership treats their employees, and number 2, how employees treat customers. When customers feel like companies care, they will stick with that company for longer than average. It may mean some short-term sacrifices, like profits, but the long-term benefits outweigh them, like more profits over time. Studies have shown this, and this is the primary reason how I predicted the fall of a billion-dollar company years before it happened. Number 4, people over profit. Yeah, Jordan, I know you like how I ended that one. Yeah, there's no award for that, by the way. But I know. All right. You guys ready for number 5? Drop some 5s in the chat. If you're ready for number 5, drop some 5s in the chat. Cool. You guys are blowing it up today. You guys are blowing it up today. See, this is the type of participation we need on every stream, dog. This is what we need. This is what we need. Number 5 is the only Latin expression in this whole ordeal. Number 5 is premeditatio malorum. I'll put that in the chat because if I can't even spell a lot of English words, what makes you think we can do Latin? I failed Latin, by the way. I had an old teacher too. She had gray hair. And she was a cunt. But number 5 is premeditatio malorum. I may have even spelt that wrong myself. You can probably Google it. But premeditatio malorum is Latin for the premeditation of evils. one of Seneca's letters comes to mind. He says something like, rehearse them in your mind, war, shipwreck, etc. I was too lazy to look up the quote. I might have to edit that later. But in another letter, he said, the unexpected blow lands the heaviest. So what does this mean? It means we need to prepare for things in advance. Prepare for what might not go as planned. In today's world, we have Murphy's Law, which is what can go wrong will go wrong. Traffic changes our arrival time. Storms may cancel outside plans. We can randomly get a flat tire or randomly get sick. Companies lay people off and we may lose our job. Maybe we lose power and sit in the dark. My point, anything can happen. Backup plans and preparation can turn an emergency into an inconvenience. They can soften the blows of hardships. We shouldn't give ourselves crippling anxiety about potential dangers and obstacles ahead, but we should think forward a little bit and prepare for whatever may come our way. As the saying goes, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Stack up food and clothes, 2023, right? Some of you had to be there, all right? Get a first aid kit and more batteries, maybe extra blankets and portable chargers, excuse me. You never know. You never know. If you're ready for number 6, drop a 6 in the chat. So there were the first 5. Focusing on what we can control, always being a student, focusing on what's important, putting people over profit. That's why I'm here for free, doing stuff for free. People over profit. Okay, I want you to profit. Okay, that's what I want. I could keep all this stuff to myself, right? But I don't do that, do I? Nope. And number 5, premeditatio malorum, prepare for stuff in advance. If you type 6-7, you're getting blocked forever. Good luck in 2026. Number 6, old age doesn't equal wisdom or understanding. Number 6, old age doesn't equal wisdom or understanding. Maybe you were like me, told to respect your elders when you were young. And there's certain a level of agreeability, right? Kids shouldn't just go around disrespecting adults without consequences. Sure. But what a lot of us miss is that adults don't always know the answers to the questions that we have. You can be an adult, or let's say a senior citizen, and still be ignorant of things. Watch this. Older generations don't know as much about technology and phones and social media as much as the younger generations. Your doctor probably knows a lot of things about the human body and maybe nutrition, but it's entirely possible that they don't know it all. Maybe you or I know things that they don't. In our age today, ChatGPT scores higher on tests than most experts in their field. You must be careful of who you listen to. They may be clinging on to old information. They may be clinging on to the status quo and refuse to get with the times. Not everybody adapts and continues to learn. Double check your sources and information. As the military says, trust but verify. Trust but verify. You guys ready for number 7? Drop a 7 in the chat if you guys are ready. Number 6, if you didn't get it down, was old age doesn't equal wisdom or understanding. So you see how we tied those two things together? Number 2, right? Always being a student and not listening to people who aren't, because things change. And they're outside the loop. Robert Greene talks about that too. He's like, well, no wonder you get replaced by people who are younger. They know more than you and they're cheaper. Yeah. Assume formlessness, law number 48. Yeah. You see how we're not doing like a syntopical study here, but you see how we're connecting different books and different ideas all together? You guys have no idea what 2026 is going to be like for you. I'm going to make you a fucking gangster by 2027. Okay, I'm going to make you a thug by 2027 if you do the work. All right? Number 7. Oh, I kind of cut this in half. Oops. All right. Number 7. I say this all the time. Experience is the best teacher. Number 7. Experience is the best teacher. I like teaching and reading. I like watching YouTube videos and listening to music. But I can't read a book on engines and then go work on someone's car. I can't listen to a rock song and then go play the guitar riffs. You can only kind of pretend in the shower, right? All right, whatever. Sometimes we hear good advice or write down good ideas, but we never truly understand something until we experience it. It's a great idea to learn from the experience of others, let's say like burning a hot stove. I don't need to touch the stove myself to know my hand will hurt. I don't need to murder someone to know that I'll go to jail for many years. With our habits and daily decisions, like money and skills, sometimes we need to learn from experience to get better. As I've heard somewhere before, knowledge is knowing, but wisdom is doing. I'm giving you all the gems here, man. If you think this is nice, wait till my next book comes out, dog. Wait. I'm telling you, dog, I'm going for quality. I know I've been working on it for like 2 or 3 years now. I know you guys want me to hurry up, but I'm trying to make it excellent, okay? I can't stop, all right? I have a problem. I just keep making it better instead of just saying like this is enough. I have an issue, all right? So there's that. Number 7, experience is the best teacher. You guys ready for number 8? Drop an 8 in the chat. Eric, what was the hardest book to read till now? 48 Laws? No way. 48 Laws was a hard read? Let me tell you something, okay? Did you guys get my email, by the way? If you are subscribed to my Substack, most of you actually aren't, by the way, but you're fired. It was yesterday. It was last night, pretty much. I put out the Smart Money Stoics reading list for 2026. So I'm basically giving you book of the month for the entire year. Every month is already outlined. January, How to Read a Book by Mortimer. I always forget the guy's name. Mortimer J. Adler and Charles Van Doren. Right? This is the one we're starting off with in January, by the way. Okay? Why would we go over book of the month if you don't even know how to read a damn book? Right? So that's the first one. To get into more books, we got to learn how to read right. We got to learn how to read well. There's reading, and then there's reading well. And after reading like the first, let me see, the first 114 pages, I can definitely tell the difference between reading and reading well. I didn't always read well. So I say that to say there's only one book we spend 2 months on, and that is 48 Laws. Because even if you did 1 law per day, which I think is very reasonable, that only gets through like 30 laws or whatever. So to get through 48, we'd either have to double up on the weekend, which, listen, I can barely get you to read books enough as it is. So I'm going to make it easier for you. And we'll go through 1 through 20, or what was it? Yeah, 1 through 24 in May, and then 25 through 48 in June. So we have 2 months for 48 Laws of Power. I'll post it later in the Discord, Robert. But I'm glad you brought that up. So anyway, moving on to number 8. Number 8, forgiveness is key. Number 8, forgiveness is key. Forgiveness isn't always about the other person. Sometimes it's about us. Holding on to a grudge rots a person from the inside out. Don't let hate or revenge foster on the inside. You'll end up doing more harm to yourself than what the other person did to you. As Epictetus lectured, it's not about what happens to you that matters. It's about how you respond to what happens. I have a severe spelling mistake in here. I think you could choose rage or revenge, or you could take a step back and think about the long-term effects of holding it all inside. You could just decide to let it all go. It's not impossible, and you'd be better off for forgiving them. You guys good with that? Probably not the greatest, but listen, I've seen it too many times. Okay, I have a long list of haters. Okay, I've seen it happen before. I've seen it happen, chat. You don't want to hold grudges. But John, you talk about your exes all the time because it's funny, and they're all whores. You know what I mean? But I'm over it. I've forgiven them for their bullshit, and we've moved on. You know what I mean? So it's just a running joke at this point. But it is what it is. All right? Sure. Go do what you got to do. Go be what you got to be. Leave me out of it. All right? We're faithful over here. Okay? Everything else, piss off. All right? Piss off. So there you go. Number 8. Forgiveness is key. Number 9. Drop some 9s if you guys are ready for number 9. I think we're running on pretty good time. I only went to 21, and then I stopped writing because there's only so much creativity that you have before you're just fried. I talk about that too, actually. Number 10, but we got to get through number 9 first. I don't need a nice girl. What I need is more nice trades. Know what I'm saying? More nice cars, dog. That's that. Okay, number 9. Take a walk. Number 9. Take a walk. We weren't made to sit inside all day. I know from experience, okay? We weren't made to sit inside all day. We weren't made to sit in traffic so much of our lives, or in a cubicle, right? Those things aren't natural for human beings. Fresh air is wonderful. Connecting with nature is awesome. Letting the blood flow and moving your muscles is great for your body. Walking is how great ideas come to us. There's plenty of philosophers who came up with great ideas. Not all the ideas were great, but a lot of them came up with ideas that we still talk about today. I can't tell you a single time that I regretted taking a walk. I have caught myself in the rain a couple of times, but I was still glad that I got out and that I kept moving. There's a time for stillness, but too much of anything turns bad. Get out and get going. You like that? Get out and get going. Number 9 is take a walk. You guys want number 10? You know the deal. You know the deal. Drop a 10. Number 9 is a good one, especially for creators, for business owners, artists, I could say probably too. Or if you're stuck in a rat race, then yeah, this one's definitely for you too. He said in 48 Laws of Life. Well, these aren't, I don't think these are laws. I mean, some of them, you know, are right, but I don't know. I can't tell somebody who's crippled to go take a walk. Like that doesn't work. You know, it just doesn't work. Mason, I don't know what to do with you anymore. All right, number 10. Burnout is not a badge of honor. Okay, number 10. Burnout is not a badge of honor. This one I learned from Essentialism by Greg McKeown. Too many of us think that we need to keep grinding and end up hurting ourselves because of it. Like I hinted at in number 9, humans have limitations. Yes, work hard and equally smart and work well, but know your limits. If you're missing out on a lot of time with family and friends because of work, you're doing it wrong. If you're slamming 3 energy drinks a day To stay awake and keep working, you're doing it wrong. 2 is my personal limit. All right. You don't get an award for burning out. The cons outweigh the pros. You're allowed rest and relaxation. Your body actually needs it, despite what the common man says, despite what the common man thinks. So there's number 10. Burnout is not a badge of honor. Let me ask you guys this before we move on. Have you guys ever actually been burnt out before? You ever worked like an 80-hour week, 70-hour week before? You ever been so tired it just felt like as soon as you went to bed, you woke up and went right back to work and there was like no time for anything in between? Has that ever happened? Dude, the military was that way. Not the entire time. There was a segment of time in there that was a real bitch, and that's what it was like. Every day it was like 14, 15-hour days, barely slept. You know, like it was awful. And that was like real burnout. Like I could feel my decision making go to shit. Arguably my decision making was probably bad for joining the military anyway, but we won't argue that. But I could see like my decisions were getting worse. Like my body was not, you know what I'm saying? My body was slowing down basically. Don't have the same energy anymore. Couldn't remember as much, right? I was like slowly becoming a retard. I was like, okay, this is not right. So burnout sucks, and I do not recommend it. That's what happened to Rick Ross too. He only had like 4 hours of sleep every night, and then it's like, okay, well, he's overweight too, but and then bam, he had strokes or heart attacks or something, seizures or whatever. Burnout's a real thing, so try to avoid that. You guys ready for number 11? I like this one. I like them all, but I like number 11 bigly. You guys ready for number 11? You know what made me write this one? The title is the GIF. The GIF. It's that black guy who is like arguing with the wall. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? He's arguing with a brick wall. So number 11 is most people are brick walls. Number 11 is most people are brick walls. Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." So many people argue online. I've done it. So many people argue with their coworkers or their spouse. Most of the time we argue because we think we're right. Rarely do people admit that they're wrong, or rarely do people claim to not know about a subject. They're afraid to admit they don't know. They don't want to be embarrassed. But there's wisdom in admitting that you don't know. You're not Socrates or anything, but you're on the right track, starting off with, I need to do more research. When you're an expert and you argue with someone who knows less than you about the subject, it's pretty easy to tell. I know when people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, especially like in trading and personal development. But the problem is when we continue to argue with them, knowing there's a high probability that they double down and keep pretending like they know what they're talking about. We only waste our time, and it's best to move along. Okay. Now, this is why I had to delete the Threads app, because I would leave comments and stuff because people are honestly stupid, really, really stupid. And some people would argue back, but I do that, and I used to do that a lot in the trading space too, because I wanted people to see the right information. Not so much to argue, but like to put out the proper stuff, you know? Like someone would call, let's say they would call these equal highs. I'd say, no, that's low resistant highs. You know, and people used to, bro, all of the Twitter gurus like blocked me because I used to do shit like that. Before they like blew up, okay? Before they started selling all these $2,000 courses and shit, like I was there in their comments saying, this is wrong. You labeled this wrong. That's not an order block. That's not a fair value get. That's not this. Like, you're a fucking idiot. So, but I think it goes without saying, people don't appreciate that. At least creators don't. They like, right? Never outshine the master is what they say. Oh, I don't, man, fuck that law, dude. Law number 1 of 48 laws, never outshine the master. Dude, I'm a master of that, bro. I'm a master of outshining the master. That's why the military wasn't for me. Okay? So I purposely avoid that law. But anyway, as we watch ES smash to the downside, I guess we are going lower. Unless we sweep that to go higher, but I don't know. I'm not going to trade that. You guys ready for number 12? Drop a 12 in the chat. This one I like too. This one I think is really good. You're going to like this one. I think you're going to like this one. Especially if you're not good with money. This is a very good one. Number 12. Now, this is one sentence, mind you, okay? Number 12. Money can't buy happiness, but poverty can't buy anything. I've heard that before. I don't know who said that originally. It's not mine. Okay, I've heard that before. I'm sure you have too. Money can't buy happiness, but poverty can't buy anything. So what does that mean? I was at church a few weeks ago. Most of you haven't been in a while. You need to. But I was at church a few weeks ago with a friend, and the pastor said, and I believe this too, but the pastor said the prosperity gospel is bullshit. Well, he said nonsense, but I put my own flavor on it. He says the prosperity gospel is nonsense, and the poverty gospel is also nonsense. Okay, so here you go. Number 12, money can't buy happiness, but poverty can't buy anything. The prosperity gospel and the poverty gospel are opposites, but equally garbage. Money is an essential tool, not being good or bad. When we chase wealth at the expense of everything else, there's a problem. When we put money above what truly matters, like health, time with friends and family, and joyful activities, etc., we've got a problem. As the saying goes, money doesn't buy happiness. Temporary happiness, maybe, but surely not lasting happiness. Poverty, the inversion of wealth, is also to be avoided. Life is far more difficult for broke people. Broke people struggle to get ahead. There are so many financial traps and loan sharks and bad habits that poor people must overcome to get ahead financially. It's not easy. We need to find our golden mean. We need to make money and create a substantial life. We don't, however, need to place money so high on our priority list that we forget what truly matters. If you don't write anything else down, write this shit. Most of us know how to make a living, but it takes a lot more than that to make a life. Do I need to say that again? Most of us know how to make a living, but it takes a lot more than that to make a life. So you got to find your golden mean, okay? Money can't buy happiness, but poverty can't buy anything. We're not looking for either extreme, okay? At a certain point, things become unhealthy. Who was it? I think it was probably Jesus, but what good is it to gain the whole world only to lose your own soul? Right. Dr. Scrooge. Y'all remember him, right? From the cartoons or whatever, growing up. So there it is, number 12. How are we on time? We can go a couple more. Drop a 13 if you guys want some more. I mean, we can stop here if you want. That's up to you. We need some 13s in the chat if you want to keep going. Or we can stop. It don't matter to me. I'm hungry anyway. I'm ready to eat something, dude. I'm ready to eat all this talking I've been doing. I need to eat, chat. I might make some nuggets or hit up hiatus. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. 63. Yeah, I might go to hiatus. I don't feel like doing. Work smart, not hard, right, chat? Okay. Number 13. I say this all the time too. Number 13. What's slow will grow. What's fast doesn't last. Again, I didn't make that up. That's not my saying, but that is a lesson that I've learned, right? Number 13. What's slow will grow. What's fast doesn't last. Do you remember that story about the rabbit and the turtle? Long story short, long story short, the turtle wins the race, contrary to what most of us would think when comparing a fast animal racing a slow one. The key is that it's not about speed. It's about direction and consistency. Slow, steady steps towards the goals you have. Stocks that rise fast usually fall fast too. Same goes for a lot of businesses, here one day but gone the next. Other businesses stick around for generations. The person who eats right and works out consistently will see positive changes over time versus the person who eats junk food and works out intensely. Because again, it's about consistency, not intensity. Pizza rolls are better made in the oven versus the microwave. Test me if you want to. I dare you. But literally, I wrote that. I wrote all this. But that's my favorite analogy is the pizza rolls. Pizza rolls, it's the same thing, right? You could have the same bag. Half of it goes in the oven. The other half goes in the microwave. Microwave for 3 minutes or whatever it is, or in the oven for 15 to 20, right? They come out, and the microwave ones are ass, and the oven ones are phenomenal. Every time. You know what I mean? And that's just a very small example or a small analogy, but use that for everything else. Building wealth, getting out of debt, habits, all that type of stuff, okay? Especially in business too. So there's number 13. What's slow will grow. What's fast doesn't last. Should we do another one? Drop a 14 if you guys want. We'll probably do two. We'll do 14 and 15, then I'll shut it down. You guys good with that? Drop a 14. Now I'm giving you some gems here. Okay? I'm giving this one, this number 14 is especially a gem. Especially if you're a lot younger than I am. If you're like in your 20s, like 25 or younger, probably this one's a really big deal. You ready for this? Watch this. Number 14. Social media are just highlights and far from reality. Okay? Number 14. Social media are just highlights and far from reality. We put whatever we want on social media. And many of us, especially creators, spend a lot of time and attention to what we post. We are creating an image. We are shaping other people's perceptions. It's up to each one of us to use our discernment and decide what's real from what's not. People pretend to wake up in the morning, but all the lights are already on. It means you gotta, I didn't write this part, but it's like you woke up, put up your tripod, turned all the lights on, then got back into bed, and then pretended to wake up. What type of shit is that? I didn't write that, but I should put that in there. But the lights are already on. People can post brand new designer bags, but return them the same day. Or they could have borrowed them from a friend. That is true. I bought mine, but I'm just saying that is a possibility. Anyone can fake a smile. Photos are but an instant. They don't capture context. It's all just a highlight reel. We do things to make other people like and admire us. It's unnatural. There's number 14. Again, it's probably obvious to a lot of you, but there it is. Social media is just a highlight reel. It's not reality. Now my car is. It's not a demo Corvette. Okay. I'm not going to take a demo Corvette to the grocery store. All right. So everybody isn't legit. Okay. There's a lot of things that you can fake. You know how I know that? You could have, watch this. Okay. We talked about this briefly before, but it would be easy, right, to just have 2 trading accounts, short one, long the other. And then guess what? You could just post the winner. Now you're winning every day. Now you're winning every trade, right? Right. It's bullshit. A lot of things can be faked. You know what you can't fake is calling trades in advance. That can't be fake. You know what I mean? So do what you want with that information. But number 15, the final one for today. Drop some 15s in the chat. I'll go over this list one more time, just the titles, in case you missed any of them. And yes, this is going to be an email or a blog post, probably both. But number 1, control what you can, let everything else go. Number 2, never stop learning. Number 3, focus on what's important. Number 4, people over profit. Number 5, premeditatio malorum, or preparation is key if you want. Number 6, old age doesn't equate to wisdom or understanding. Number 7, experience is the best teacher. Number 8, forgiveness is key. Number 9, take a walk. Number 10, burnout is not a badge of honor. Number 11, most people are brick walls. Number 12, money can't buy happiness, but poverty can't buy anything. Number 13, what's slow will grow, what's fast doesn't last. Number 14, social media are highlights and far from reality. So here's the last one for today. Number 15. I like this one too. I like them all really, but this one's good. They're all good. Number 15. Actions speak louder than words. I know you've heard that expression before. Number 15. Actions speak louder than words. Proverbs 14:23. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Anyone can anyone can talk and say whatever they want. I'm going to start a business, or I'm going to start this or that. I'm going to get another job, or I'm going to drop a like on John Fibonacci stream, right? But not everybody follows through. It's so much easier said than done, as the saying goes. Planning is important. Putting together your roadmap is important. You have to plan and figure things out as much as you can before you dive into things. And I get that. But too much planning, too much talking, too much dreaming, vision boarding, right, are all bad. We have to, at some point, stop planning and execute. Do it scared. Do it without the fear of failure. Move in the direction of your goals. We can deal with setbacks when we get there. One of my favorite laws in the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is number 9. Win through action, never through argument. It's because smart people and people in power, they believe what they see, not what they hear. So, more action, less talking. Bang. You like that, chat? More action, less talking. Okay? That is 1 through 15. I'll do 16 to 32 tomorrow. Did you guys have a good time today? Let me know. If you guys learned something today, if you are able to be a little bit more reflective before 2026 with some of these ideas, let me know. It might seem like a lot because 15 ideas in an hour is pretty quick. We didn't really get like deep today. We kind of went broad, but that's okay. Each one of us, right? We may struggle in one area more than another. So one area of focus, you might be like, oh yeah, I needed that. In other areas, you might be like, no, that's good. I'm good with that. But you know, you see what I'm saying? So again, we did not learn this type of stuff in school. We didn't have teachers that did this. We didn't have counselors that did this. We didn't have principals that did this. None of that. It was more like, oh, Jonathan, it's you again. We're going to suspend you another 3 days. For what? What did I do? I don't know. You're just a little white kid with an attitude, so you're out of here. All right, bye. I'm going to play Call of Duty for 3 days. No wonder I outrank all my friends. No wonder I can prestige faster than everybody else. Bitch, I'm home all day. This is stupid. Why am I even in school? This is dumb. Right? We didn't learn anything. But once you come across some good information, it makes you say, wow, that's some good information. I want to write that down. Maybe that will make me better. Maybe that will improve my life a little bit. You know? Listen, before you go, look, I could rant all day, chat. Don't let me do it. But listen, I got a little bit more history, okay, behind this one. Technopoly by Neil Postman. I think Neil Postman. Yeah, Neil Postman, Technopoly. I posted it on my Instagram yesterday. It's not going to be a book of the month in 2026. But I can tell you, bro, some of the stuff in here is absolutely insane. A lot of these AI books talk about the printing press, okay? The printing press was like apparently the most insane technological advancement in human history. Because, and I didn't know this, but because what happens is before the printing press was around, I guess like the paper and stuff that people use was very expensive and it was hard to make copies. Even the copies were expensive because, you know, you had to pay people to write the shit down, right? So what happened was when the printing press became a thing, I think they said within 20 years or within 10 years or something, like 80 million books were able to be just shot out there. So what happened was is society, I think is like the 1600s, like 1650 or some shit. Society was, you know, they didn't have libraries and books and information was really kept secret, right? You had like family recipes and stuff, right? That really just weren't, we didn't exchange information a lot. Okay, because information was just, there was no way to do it. There was no cell phones, no electricity and stuff like that. When the printing press came about and now you get your hands on a book, you can take it to the printing press and start printing shit off. And that's when newspapers began and, you know, stuff like that. The telegram, you know, now you could eliminate the distance between people, right? It was crazy. All these technological advancements. Now we have a flood of information. We've got books on this and all these topics, and there's religious texts too and all this stuff. So now that we went from having little to no information to having this ocean of information, they were like, okay, we got to classify this stuff. We need to separate the good stuff from the bad stuff. So they created schools, and then the schools created curriculums and said, okay, we're going to teach them this and avoid everything else. And then that's when you get into like the Rockefellers and all the other tinfoil hat, you know, conversation, because now that you control the narrative for people growing up, that's when the Rockefellers or whoever it was that was like, yeah, I don't want a nation of thinkers and philosophers. I want a nation of workers. And that's where the fuckery began. That's where all this shit began, right? And then you fast forward from 1650, 1700s up to 2008 when I entered middle school. You know what I mean? And then that was my middle school and high school. Far along the controlling of information. Even some of these presidents, I think it was Roosevelt, it might have been Truman, or maybe both. Because I read biographies and shit. I just don't remember who it was. It was one of the presidents that was like, yeah, this information has been outdated. And this was like 1805 that they graduated, school from in the 1800s. So school has been outdated since the 1800s. It's 2025. You don't think there's still control and bullshit in schools? It's still there. All the stuff that they're controlling is still controlled. You know what I mean? That flow of information, what they're doing, they're regulating the information, they're blocking a lot of the information, they're labeling it misinformation. You know what I'm saying? Good ideas are hidden in books. That's why you got to read. Okay? And look, I don't want to get like too touchy here and don't cancel me, but they did the same thing. Let's come back for a second. Why do you think they purposely, when people still had slaves, okay, in the South, why do you think they purposely said, hey, don't let slaves learn how to read and write? They did that. Why do you think they did that, bro? That's where the knowledge was. Oh, if we read the Constitution, we would then understand that we are created equal. So this slavery thing is bullshit. And then they would have revolted, right? But they wouldn't have been able to figure that out if they couldn't read and write. Come on. Reading and writing back then, a couple hundred years ago, well, wasn't that long ago, but that stuff was a privilege, right? You have access to this stuff. You know how to fucking read, bro. You know how to read, you just don't do it. You see what I'm saying? I'm not like mad at you or anything, but if you're listening to what I'm saying, you got to realize that you've been messing up. This is history here, man. This is real life here. A lot of good information is hidden on purpose. It is that way. It was designed that way. What's that old saying that they put information in books because they know people won't read them? It's real, chat. This is not... At some point, it's not tinfoil hat anymore. At some point, it's reality. You know what I'm saying? There are some tinfoil hat ideas that I don't really agree with, or that I don't see. It's a little far-fetched, but a lot of those ideas, there's truth behind them. So if you're not reading, if you're not actively trying to improve yourself, no wonder life's hard, bro. No wonder life's so difficult for you. You don't even have good information. And if you don't have good information, you don't even know what to do. And you don't even bother looking. It's sad. It is. It is sad. Okay? So, to close us out, I'll come back to Epictetus. It's not about what happens to you that matters. Okay? What matters is what you do from today forward. What you do right now moving forward. That's what matters. Okay? I didn't control, them doing what they did in middle school and high school. I was 18, 19 years old, a fucking retard. You know what I mean? I didn't know shit about shit at 19. How are we in school for 12 years but don't know shit? You ever thought about that? I said this the other day on my Facebook. You ever looked at how the rise of technology has also led to a decrease in education? Why is that? Why is that, chat? Why is it that we have access to more information, but people aren't as smart? Depression's on the rise too. We have access to more information, but yet depression is on the rise. What the fuck is up with that? Why do you think that is? These are the kinds of conversations that I wish we would have had. But my teachers didn't know shit either. None of them drove Corvettes, bro. Actually, there was one lady. She got a yellow Corvette by the time I was in high school, but she was an elementary teacher, so that doesn't count. She was cool. I wonder what happened to her. Anyway, with the exception of her, no one else drove cars that I wanted. None of them. Not a single one of them. Probably didn't live in a house that, you know, they didn't have other things that I wanted. So they weren't in a position, you know, to have those conversations. But that's not the point. The point is, what can we do now? What can we do today? And you have access to Amazon. You have access to my channel. You have access to all of YouTube as well. Find some good streamers or some good videos and save them. I literally made a playlist for you called Helpful Videos. All videos from other YouTubers. That's for you. I watch them too, but that's for you because I've done a little bit of the digging for you and I'm helping you out. So that's something to think about today. And well, between now and forever. I mean, think about that. Think about all these things that we just talked about. This stuff is real, folks. It's not bullshit. Okay? I wouldn't joke about slavery. Not to you guys anyway. Maybe like in a private chat, but you know, that probably shouldn't have told you that. But you know, certain things, these are real stuff. These are real topics. Okay? This is history, this is real life, and it's your life. So do what you got to do. But with that, I hope you guys got value today. Y'all be good, be blessed. We'll be here same time, same place for the same price tomorrow on the 10th. I'll be 32 years old and we'll go over the second half of that list for you. All right. So be good, be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow.
And that shit where you live, yeah, I like that better. 1, we can help you. 2, we can allow you to help yourself. And 3, we can have you replaced.
Hey, see, I really been popping my shit on a whole nother level. You playing get sent to the devil. These bitches been on me, I swear they keep calling my phone. I'm like, hold on, let me check the schedule. If she get time of day, then I had a good place, so I'm back at the spot. She can be like a press. These niggas be soft on the bitch, but turned up off a perk. Boy, I'm solid and stand on with us. See, I really been popping my shit on a whole nother level. You playing get sent to the devil. These bitches been on me, I swear they keep calling my phone. I'm like, hold on, let me check the schedule. If she get time of day, then I had a good place, so I'm back at the spot. She can be like a press. These niggas be soft on the bitch, but turned up off a perk. Boy, I'm solid and stand on whatever. Hey, bitch, I'm popping like going on the kettle. A lame nigga reach for my chain, he get hit with this metal. And first shit, we on the new levels. I put triple D on my back and my foot on the pedal. I'm chasing Ciabatta the cheddar. I really know Mexican start, I call all of them help. We up, you can go check the record, cause lately I really been ballin'. I'm feeling like Steph. Sit back, let me teach you a lesson. You run up on big extra plug and get hit with this web. Want the Glock, they AR, the Wesson, but I still beat your bitch ass like it's Marvel attack. Teach her spray every day to the river. She know that I'm out on my last and her son been a fella. Think he sweet, put a hole in his melon. And I probably beat the little case cause we don't do no telling. To the lost one, something like hell. These niggas be hooping and hollering, but fuck how they yelling. We better come check out my section. Taliban shit, but you know it's 600, I'm ready. In my hood, boy, I'm something like a legend. You can't join the gang if you ain't know for shooting the step. Where he play, that's the same place we left him. Was being too extra, I hate that the gang had I really been popping my shit on a whole nother level. You playing, get sent to the devil. These bitches been on me, I swear they keep calling my phone. I'm like, hold on, let me check the schedule. If she get time of day, then I had a good place, so I'm back at the spot. She can be like a press. These niggas be soft on the bitch, but turned up off a perk. Boy, I'm solid and stand on whatever. Yeah, I really been popping my shit on a whole nother level. You playing, get sent to the devil. These bitches been on me, I swear they keep calling my phone. I'm like, hold on, let me check the schedule. If she get time of day, then I had a good place, so I'm back at the spot. She can be like a press. These niggas be soft on the bitch, but turned up off a perk. Boy, I'm solid and stand on whatever.